Aloha and welcome. Thank you all for joining us again in the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival virtual kitchen for generational cooking with Ming Tsai. We're glad to bring back our Cook Along with HFWF series for this special event. This afternoon, we're getting a special cooking lesson from award-winning culinary personality and chef Ming Tsai. He's chosen one of his favorite Cong You Bing, or scallion pancakes, a dish he learned from his mother and one that has been passed down through generations. This culinary event is particularly special as it demonstrates how food and cooking are inherently linked to culture, heritage, and our natural environment. We're so honored to be joined today by Ming's parents, Stephen and Iris Tsai, who now live in Honolulu. This virtual cook-along series is a way to bring people together and families together in their own homes, in person or remotely, and we're happy to have the Tsais cook together again today. Before I start, I'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Kamehameha Schools, who has made this virtual culinary cook and drink along experience possible. Please join me in welcoming Kahealani Naiole Wong, Hawaii Campus Head of School at Kamehameha Schools, to say a few words about our partnership.
Aloha nui kako. Kamehameha Schools is honored to sponsor this segment of the Food and Wine Festival featuring Chef Ming Tsai. What an amazing opportunity for our community to come together to share and appreciate good food, good drink, and good company. As an island nation, Hawaiians have great reverence and respect for abundance. We also honor and give tribute to our ancestors who have ensured that our lahui continues to thrive and that the mouths of our keiki are always full with the gifts from our aina. Like Chef Ming Tsai, whose ohana and ancestors live on in his craft and his great artistry of cuisine, the legacy of our ohana continues to be celebrated at our dinner tables today. Hawaiians have a saying, "Na li'i o ke kua mo'o o haloa," or haloa is the ancestor of our chiefs. Haloa, the progenitor of kalo, or taro, is the staff of life for our people and traces back to the very first generations of Kanaka. It is a center of our homes and community and reveals the natural and sustainable connections between culture, our aina, and food. Kamehameha Schools is proud to be a part of an event that honors generations upon generations of families who have found joy in the preparation and sharing of food. We mahalo the Food and Wine Festival and the work it does to support our local food systems. Healthy food plus families cooking together equals strong keiki ready to learn and grow into the leaders of tomorrow. Mahalo nui loa.
Mahalo Kahealani. Before I start, I want to introduce, we have a surprise add-on for you this afternoon. In your box, you may have found a small tin from Kilani Brew. This was gifted to us from Senator Donovan Dela Cruz, who recently started a small mamaki tea farm. At the end of the cook-along, Ming will also share a quick and easy mamaki tea recipe for you to enjoy with your Cong You Bing. Senator Dela Cruz is on Zoom with us from his farm, so I'll ask him to briefly tell us about his mamaki, where it's growing, and how you may get more of it.
Thanks, Denise. I want to thank
Senator.
Thanks, Denise. I want to thank Ming Tsai, Kamehameha Schools, Hawaii, and Hawaii Ag Foundation, Hawaiian Food and Wine Festival for allowing us to be a participant and allowing us to gift everyone a small tin of Kilani Brew. So we started Kilani Brew at first as a hobby about 10 years ago, and it evolved into a small business. Now we farm about 1 acre of mamaki tea. It's normally grown in the mountains. It's an understory tree. Most of you have probably never seen mamaki. I know I never did until I started farming it. And it's quite healthy for you. There's many medicinal benefits. CTAR has done quite a bit of studies on it. I get a lot of feedback from many people saying that it helps with their blood pressure. It helps calm them. And, that's part of what Hawaii's sustainable goals are to not only practice and promote our culture, but to also make sure that Hawaii has an ag future. So thank you very much for allowing us to participate.
Thank you, Senator. And we look forward to trying that tea. It was an add-on, like Denise said. So congratulations for having the Mamaki farm. And my name is Tanya Joaquin. I'm the host of a show here on KHON2 called Living 808. And as you all know, if you live in 808 or if you've been to Hawaii, you know that food and culture and bringing people together is a huge part of Hawaiian life. So I'm happy to be here with the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival for Cook Along tonight, especially with our special guest, celebrity chef, culinary personality, Ming Tsai. I'm glad to have him joining. He's been prepping in the kitchen and he has special guests as well. We talked about the generational cooking. So we're pleased to have cooking along with him, probably a few of his biggest fans, his own parents who got him started cooking in the kitchen early, Stephen and Iris. So nice to have you along. I'll go over a few housekeeping rules briefly. Just we want your cameras on so we can kind of watch along to make sure that your progress is up to speed. Or if you have questions, feel free to put that into the chat section and I will chime in with that to Ming as we get that in. And also we just want to, make it an interactive experience. A lot of us are at home and we want to make it a cooking along experience. So feel free to share those questions. I did want to give you a little background on Ming. I'm sure you probably all have his books and know this ad nauseum, but Ming did graduate from Yale and earn a master's degree from Cornell University. He opened 2 highly acclaimed restaurants. He's written a bunch of cookbooks, and now he's really into the health space as well with a vegan line called Ming's Bing. So if you haven't tried that out, go check that out. And he's no stranger. In fact, he's definitely not camera shy. So I know he's got a couple of cameras on him. He's happy to share with us. The host of many shows, received 3 Emmy nominations, and actually won as host of East Meets West with Ming Tsai. So we're really happy to have him here. I had the chance to work with him on a few Hawaii Food and Wine Festival events, one on Maui, as well as I believe at the Modern and at the Convention Center too. So he's always a big supporter of coming here. And I know he loves to come to Hawaii, cook with local ingredients. So we're so glad to have him with us today. Again, you'll have a chance to cook along with him and to ask questions. And without further ado, I want to ask him to tell us why he chose this dish and to kind of prep us for what we're going to be doing with an overview of what you have in your bag. Hi, Ming, how are you?
Hey, Tanya, I'm great. And hello to everyone, Senator, distinguished guests. So unfortunately, my mom is a little under the weather, so will not be joining us today, but I got my dad, I got my pops live, he's ready to go. It was a very accurate statement to say I learned scallion pancakes from my mom, but I also learned them from my dad, my yaya, nanai as well. So grandparents, parents, and now I get to teach it to my kids. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make scallion pancakes. We're gonna start with the hot water dough. We're gonna get that going. If you made the dough in advance, we're gonna use that, but you can make fresh dough too. Both work. A little bit rest the dough, half an hour to an hour. It tends to be a little easier to roll out. But if you didn't make it in advance, don't worry. You can make it fresh. We get hot water boiling right now, unless you have really hot tap water. So get that going. Once we get the pancakes done, we'll start cooking them. Then we're gonna make the 2 different dips. One is a pineapple salsa, and one is a dim sum dipper. So be a pretty straightforward class. In the end, I'm just going to show you how I made the tea. I put a little bit of flavoring in. So that's what we got. Should we get going, Tanya?
Sure. Do you want to maybe walk them through what they have in their kit so that we know what to expect? Sometimes there's questions about what things are.
Well, I assume everyone's opened their kit and pulled things out. So you need flour. We didn't give you water. You have water. So again, get some boiling water. The pineapple salsa, we're using the serrano chili, the shallot, the pineapple, and some lime juice, salt, pepper, of course. And then the dim sum dipper, we're using the tamari, the rice vinegar, and the sambal. Sambal is in the pineapple salsa as well. I'm actually using a second. I always say in recipes, use your favorite hot sauce. My new favorite hot sauce is this chili crisp, spicy chili crisp. So again, we'll make those 2. You have a bunch of scallions. We're going to slice those up as well, so do a little bit of knife work. And I'm positive all you Hawaiians know how to break down a pineapple. But for that one person that doesn't, we're going to break one down. We only need a cup or so to make the salsa, but you'll have the pineapple for breakfast as well tomorrow. That's what we got.
Sounds good to me. I think so. I think people are itching to go, and we should check in on your dad too. Maybe you could ask him.
Yeah, Pops, how you doing there? Are you okay? Put yourself off of mute, Pops, or can you guys unmute my dad there? Take yourself off of mute, Dad.
Yes, okay, I'm here.
Okay, good. Say hello to all our friends in Hawaii.
Right.
And first of all, thank you all for supporting. This is so important. I'm looking for Alan Wong and Roy Yamaguchi, who they claimed was going to come on because they really need some cooking lessons. And but I don't see them, so I'm a little bit disappointed. Maybe Alan's playing. Oh, there's Alan's iPhone. Is that you, Alan? Can we see your face if that's Alan's iPhone? See, this is how if that's Alan's iPhone, this is how much he cooks.
Ming.
It's probably in his golf cart. No?
Ming,
Yes.
this is Roy.
Roy. Let me see you, Roy. Where are you? I can't see you.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
It's my voice.
It's the voice of God. There he is, the voice of
Hey,
God.
be nice to me today, okay? If you want to play golf when you get here, be nice to
Yes,
me.
I would hope so. That'd be very nice of you. Maybe we can get Alan out too. He always avoids me.
Hey,
Okay.
how's it going, Ming, Roy?
Yeah, how's it? There he is. How we doing, Alan Wong?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Ah, you're looking good. Looking really good there, sir. All right, Alan, you got your sharp knives? You can borrow some from Roy. He got some new Cutcos, so he should be all set. All right, guys, listen. All-purpose flour, right? So I'm going to use a KitchenAid because I have a KitchenAid. If you don't have a KitchenAid, you can do it by hand. Both at the end, we knead it. So you can start with the KitchenAid, then knead it by hand. That's what I'm going to do. Otherwise, you pour boiling water and use a wooden dowel, right? You can use a wooden dowel, something like this. And obviously, back in China, 400 years ago, they didn't have a KitchenAid, right? So they would use chopsticks or wooden dowel, mix it. All right. So Henry, come with me. I have Henry. This is a generational thing. So Henry's shooting me. So boiling water, guys, and a KitchenAid. Again, you can do this by hand. And what you want to do is on slow first, just want to add the water. It's called a hot water dough, obviously because the water is hot. And what this water does, of course, is help release the gluten in the flour. And you want to keep on adding it till it starts to knead into a bowl, into a ball. And once it's kneaded into a ball, then you can take it out and finish the kneading on a board or just a marble top. So I'm going to turn this up. And if you did make it in advance, it is good to let the dough rest for about an hour. It's then a little bit easier to roll it super thin. All right. So all the Asian households probably have a hot water heater because we drink a lot of tea. So I find that's a perfect temp. All right, keep going. And again, by hand, you'll see once this comes into a ball, we'll then be able to knead it. It just takes a little bit longer when you knead it by hand. And I'm not going to say it's any better by hand or KitchenAid. They both come out pretty good. But it's nice to get this a nice homogeneous ball. So you can see how it's now coming together. Now you have a nice ball there, moving around. So that looks pretty good. So I can stop this now. Now this is hot, right? This is a hot water dough. So ahead, come with me. So here, we're going to use some bench flour, right? And you want to get flour on your hands, and then you do want to knead this, all right? So I'd like to knead, I'd like to have enough flour, I can push it away and then bring it back towards me. Be careful, it's pretty hot, right, guys? That was boiling water. It's nice and soft. And you just got to work the gluten. And right now, because this is so hot, you really can't use it, right? Which is why I say it's good once it's kneaded well to mix it, to let it rest for that half hour to an hour. But right now you can see how nice and soft and supple it is, right? Nice soft dough. All right, so then what you do is you can then, that's good. You have a nice homogeneous sheen, right? There's no spots to it. So then this you can let rest. And if you let it rest for about an hour, this is what you end up having. All right, so here's one. So you can just see this is so soft because it's hot. And once it's rested, it's a little bit more firm. All right, so then what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to cut it in half and then cut the half in half. So quarters. Okay. So then what you do is you take, again, always working on a floured surface. Okay. Round, it ends up round or rectangular. Either is going to be okay. What you want to make sure is that nothing sticks to wooden dowel. How's everyone's flour? Let me look in the computer here real quickly. How's everyone's dough? How does everyone's dough come out? And just ask a question if you need to. I'd like to see everyone's dough first. Take that off. Oh, that looks good. I don't know who that is. He says HFWS, Hawaiian Food and Wine Fest. Cody, yours looks pretty good. Make sure your hands aren't too wet, right? Nice and dry. Michelle, yours looks good. Angie, yours looks good. Lisa, looks like you're doing a good job there. Hunter's nice and round there. All right. Leilani, I can't tell. Looks like a coffee table. JC, what are you doing there? Is everything all right? Sydney, yours looks good too. All right. If you have a question, unmute yourself and yell out. Alan Wong, I'd love to see your hot water dough, sir. I'm sorry, what's that? You don't have any hot water where you live? I'm so sorry to hear that. And Roy, I'd love to see your hot water dough. Or do you call it sushi rice in Japan? Is it different? Okay, all right, Kylie, that's good. All right, so guys, your dough looks good. Cut it into half and then cut it into quarters. So take 1/4 of the piece. All right, I'm going to come back to my board. You can see what I have going on here, guys, right? So the most important thing is super flat and the same thickness. Hey, Pops, are there any other suggestions? So my dad makes really good scallion pancakes like his dad. Yeah. Any other suggestions when you're rolling it out?
No, just make it, you have to rotate it so that you get the skin evenly thick and
Yeah.
make sure it
So
doesn't. Yeah.
Pops, I think we're going to do the double lamination technique, all right? That we've both been doing, that Henry was mastering, right? So we're going to do it twice. So we're going to show you guys a cool trick. All right, back to the board first. So we're going to do a little bit of prep work. We're going to slice some scallions. So we'll get to this pineapple in a sec. So guys, you have a bunch of scallions. Make sure you take the ends off, right? And just go nice and thin, right? Just let the knife do the work. You don't want razor thin because you want the scallions to have a little bit of texture, right? Just take your time. And I presume everyone knows how to hold a knife, but just in case that one person doesn't, this is how you hold a knife. You use your thumb and your index finger, right? Of course, we have these other 3 fingers that come along for the ride, so they're here. But don't grip it like this. No one can hit a golf ball or any sport when you're gripping the knife like this. Nice and supple. And the key is you push the knife through the scallions or you pull the knife through the scallions. Either way works. But it's the left hand. Sure, your hand is not like you'll cut off a finger, right? So you got to do crab's claw. And by doing that, the knife kind of skims up and down your knuckle, which is also why you don't lift it all the way because you don't want to cut your knuckle. All right. So take your time, let the knife slice through. Right? You don't just go straight down. You go straight down. Look, it doesn't come apart, right? So you have to let the knife slice through the scallions. All right. Like that. And then you can take it if you want, you can cut it in half. You want to get and do even more to take your time. That's fine too. Right. Green and white. And scallion pancakes, I like to use both the green and the white. I think they're both delicious. The green, of course, is a little less strong than the white. All right, that's plenty of scallions right there. Get a bowl here. So we got all these great scallions. And the other thing that's key to a scallion pancake, and by the way, there is the Pops, did you add salt or not? The jury's out. Some people add salt to the dough and some people don't. What did you do today, Pops?
Hey, I follow your recipe.
You follow my recipe? Okay, good. I forgot to add salt, so I didn't follow my recipe. It's like with sushi rice. Some people, when they make the soup, some people add salt, some don't. I never add salt for sushi rice. And I guess I do go back and forth in the scallion pancake. The most important thing is you salt it when you're making the pancake, which I'm going to show you. All right, so here we have our sliced scallions, right? The other thing we need to make now is the oil. You can take grapeseed or canola oil, all right? And then you just flavor it with a little bit of sesame oil. If you use straight sesame oil, it's going to be way too strong. All right. So it's about 6-7 parts of regular oil to 1 part of sesame oil. And then what I'm going to do is get myself a brush. which looks like this. David said, look for a brush for me, will you? Right to there. Oh, thank you. Okay, come back here, Henry. Let's make a pancake. So now we have, you guys should have your oil, all right? Have your scallions and have your salt. But check this out. Usually you would add all three and roll it out, but we're gonna do something different. I learned this trick recently. It's a double lamination. So we're first gonna put only oil. This is the canola or grapeseed with the sesame oil. And we're gonna roll it out one time. Not adding any scallions or salt because that could break the skin. What I'm trying to make is a base, really rich, laminated scallion pancake without the scallions in now. And then we're going to do it a second time, right? Double lamination. So check this out. So what you guys do is you take the end, and I put a good amount of oil there, guys, right? Nice and tight, you roll the dough. All right? Nice and tight like this. Keep rolling. All right? Then here you twist it a couple times. Look how much oil I have. I don't mind the oils coming out because I can always put flour. So I've twisted. I'm actually twisting the dough. It's creating more lamination. Then I twist it in on itself like a snail. And then this end I take and I put underneath, and then I make a round and I fold it back out. So here, a little more flour on both sides. So now here is the first lamination. And then what I'm going to do now, again with bench flour, you roll this out, right? So now we've just created about, I don't know, probably about 15 layers by rolling it on itself, right? And then spiraling on itself, right? So here we want to go again to the same thickness or the same thinness as we had last time. So roll it out again to how we had it. A little more bench flour is fine, right? There's oil that's going to come out, which is also fine. All right. And roll it out again. All right, let me see how people did. How do we all do here, guys? Pops, are you trying the double lamination?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay, so guys, it just makes it twice as many layers. That's why we're doing this. You don't have to do this. It takes a lot more work, but I guarantee the results are really good. So yeah, put your camera down so we can see your board, please. Okay, yeah, look at my dad's. That's pretty good. Okay, wow, his is perfectly round, so he's one-upping me, but that's okay. That looks really good, Pops. Pops, is that the same rolling pin you've had for like 30 years?
Yeah, that's with Teflon coated.
Yes, you had. Did you design that at a
No,
lab or something?
One of the engineers, aerospace engineer, did that. I wear this to Winnie when I move
Oh yeah,
on.
Winnie has one.
No, Winnie will have this one.
Well, you're gonna feed Winnie that. Oh, good. Good for you.
And she can pass it on to whoever else will be.
Awesome. All right. So how does everyone's first round do? Sid, how you doing there? Yours looks nice and thin there. That looks pretty good. Ryder, what are you doing there? Have you rolled it out the first time yet? Get it rolling out. All right, there's a lot of people on this. A lot of Jill. Is that Jill? No, JB. JB, is that the first? Oh, I like JB with the Cabernet Sauvignon bottle. That's ingenious. When you don't have a rolling pin, wine bottles do work great. Preferably empty. Angie, that looked really good. That looks nice and thin. All right, guys. So again, use the oil. No salt, no scallions for the first one. All right. So I'm going to go back to the board, to my board here. Again, I'm going to nice and thin. Really exactly the same size as I had last time, right, guys? So now, second lamination. Again, your sesame oil combo all the way to the edges. All right. Yeah. Now we can take our scallions and lay them on. You don't want to go crazy, but you want to have every bite have scallions. Okay. Now here, a little bit of kosher salt, right? Just a touch. You don't need a ton because you're going to put it after you cook it as well. So you guys seen this story before. Roll it again. Now, one thing to note, when you do double lamination like this, when you do roll it a second time, some scallions do break through the skin, which I actually like, because then when you cook it, those scallions get really dark brown, even blackened a little bit. Gives it extra flavor. All right, guys, so again, a couple extra twists here. Create more lamination, then snail it on itself. Okay, boom. A little flour, both sides, bench flour. Again, in general, scallion pancakes are round, but they're a little bit oblong, rectangular, or square. That's not going to hurt anyone, right?
No. Hey, Ming, I think some of our guests are still trying to catch up here. I know Laura said,
Okay.
if you don't mind maybe repeating or slowing down
Yeah,
just a little so she can catch up. Maybe we can see how some of them are doing.
All right, yeah, Lisa, let's see how Lisa, you're twisting. That's good.
Laura,
So now, Lisa, now snail it on itself, right? So just kind of snail it like a, yeah, there you go. And then tuck the back end underneath. Keep it nice and round there, Lisa, right? Yeah, that looks good. Keep it nice and round, and then kind of flatten it out with your fingers first to make it nice and flat, and then you can roll it out. Wow, look at Harriet's already cooked hers. Wow, Harriet, you're way ahead of us. That's pretty good. Well, Harry, that's because you hang out with my parents all the time anyway, so you have an advantage. Tiffany, you just have a photo. A lot of people with photos. Is that all these people aren't cooking? Kristen and Cheryl and Joy and Robin and Marcy? Guess not. How's this Souza family? How you doing there? Yeah, okay, a big wave. And Hunter, I see you got your thing? Yeah, okay, now flatten that out. Get it on the board and flatten it out a second time. You guys, don't be scared to use more flour, right? You want to make sure if oil seeps out, the flour helps keep the oil, the pancake from getting too oily. So bench flour is very important here. All right, Sid, yours looks really good. Is that the second lamination? Number 2? Nice.
It's nice to see so many families doing it together, just like your family.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, we all cook. Although, all right, I got to continue here. So here, this is my second, all right? Henry's shooting this. He's shooting with me again Tuesday for Simply Ming. So that's his thumb. His agent won't allow me to shoot with me twice in 1 week. So, you know. All right, you guys see what's going on here? So now I have my second lamination. You don't want to go super thin. You don't want to go like a tortilla, guys, because then you want to have, as we say in Chinese, a ginger. So that's what, a 1/4 inch? I think about a 1/4 inch is nice. Maybe a 1/3 of an inch. Because I do like it thin. But again, the most important thing is it's the same thickness everywhere. All right, you see a couple of scallions come out? I don't mind that. I don't mind a couple of scallions come out. Not a lot, but just a couple. All right, how's everyone doing? So, I was gonna say that one looks good. Oh, that's mine. Never mind. Cody, yours looks nice. Just make sure it's the same thickness, Cody. You have a little thicker on one side. It's got to be the same thickness everywhere. Okay, there's so many people here. It's awesome. My Fujiwara. How's it going there? Fujiwara-san. Good? Lots of waves. Lisa, I can only see your hand, so I don't know how your pancake came out. Shade, how are you doing? Coming out okay? Heather's looks really good there. Oh, Shade, that looks great. That's a second lamination, Shade? 2 times? Fantastic. Okay, we ready to cook these guys? I see JC's looks really good. All right, go ahead and put your pan on medium-high heat, guys. Turn your pan on medium-high heat. And then using the same canola oil, not the one with the sesame oil, but just straight canola oil or straight grapeseed oil. Let's give it about a minute for it to heat up on medium-high, and then we'll add the pancake, all right? So, Hen, come with me here. We'll take a... I got a nice pan. So medium high. Gas is a little high. You go quiet. Okay, so here, guys, I'm going to take, I have grapeseed oil. So coat the pan. The oil, you see how the oil hit the pan and it's moving? That means the pan's hot enough, right? So make sure the oil moves when it hits the pan. Now I'm going to take my scallion pancake. All right. So there's got to be a little bit of bubbling. See that? Got to have the sizzle and the bubble. So we're going to go about, I don't know, guys, it's about 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. This is where it's so key. You just cook by sight and touch. It's got to look GB&D, golden brown and delicious. It's got to be crispy, and you can just by looking at it, you'll be able to tell. All right, so we'll just get that going there. All right, we're gonna let that go. Hen, come over here. We're gonna do some quick prep. So guys, as that's cooking, let's go ahead and make 2 quick things. I'm gonna show you how you first break down a pineapple. This pineapple's been washed. Okay, I take out both ends. Easy, right? You then come across it about 3 inches the first one. You got to make sure you take all the eyes out. All right, it's about 2 inches at a time. You want to make sure you get these eyes out. You can't have the eyes, right? So go around it like this, and like that, and like this, and then you get all the eyes out. All right. So now you have a pineapple like this. You cut this in half. You cut this in half. Then you have to decore it. Decoring is going 45 degrees. There's the core. That I'm going to say actually for the tea. I have ginger and pineapple in my tea, so I'm saving the cores. So now if we want to do small dice, you can just do small dice, but I'm going to have a surprise for you guys. Check this out. I have this. None of you guys get this in Hawaii. You guys have pink pineapple? I believe you do, no? If you've never had a pink pineapple, it is the most sweetest, delicious ever pineapple. Let's check out my scallion pancake here. How are we doing? Oh yeah, here we go. Look at that, guys. That's what we're looking for. Okay, GB and D.
I gotta add yourself.
All right, so that was about 3 minutes, right, guys? So make sure someone's watching your pancake when you get to this pineapple. So I'm going to use the pink pineapple. Same thing. Why don't we use, since we have 2 pineapples here, we're going to go use both. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use half pink. I'm going to use 1 piece of pink and 1 piece of the regular gold. So be careful. We're going to cut it across like that. We're just going to make dice, guys, right? Like this. And like that. Right? So I have dice of pink pineapple. Since we have both, I'll do a little gold pineapple too. This. Take your time, guys. This is something you're going to put on top of the scallion pancake. And then we have the second one, which is a dim sum dipper, which I also love. All right. So take your time. If you don't have pineapple, which is unheard of in Hawaii, but mango is the other awesome fruit to make a salsa. All right, I'm going to check out my scallion pancake. See how we're doing. Oh yeah, this is perfect. I'm going to put this paper towel, please. Okay, here we go, guys. Look at that. How good does that look? Thank you. You can drain on a paper towel like that. All right, so we're going to cut this up in a sec. I'm going to finish my 2 salsas. So I'm going to take, so these pineapple, you have a shallot here, guys, right? So we're going to take a shallot, just rough chop. We're going to go across it once and just come across it a second time. All right, this is a large shallot, so half of the shallot will be plenty for this much salsa. All right, that goes in. Now, I have a Serrano chili. You have that in your kit. This has been washed. If you want it not hot, take the chili, cut it in half, all right? And then take this pith and all those seeds out. And the easiest way to do that is cut it into quarters, because then you can take your knife, you go straight across like this, right? And you can take all that spice. This is the spice. This is very mild. So again, I'm gonna take the spice out, take out the white pith, take out the seeds. That's gonna be mild, all right? How are we doing? Let's look. Excuse me. All right, how's everyone's pineapple look? We're almost there. All right. I want to start seeing, look, can I see some people's cooked scallion pancakes? How are they looking? I know Harriet's already on her second one, probably, but that's okay. All right, yes, there's good. JC's got his salsa done. Hunter's slicing away. Awesome. All right, you guys are looking great. So I'm going to continue. So we had the, so I'm going to take I'm going to take half of the Serranos. I took out the heat. My wife doesn't like it super spicy, right? So again, without the seeds and the pith, it's not going to be that spicy. You're going to have that nice picante sweet flavor. All right. So a little bit of those Serranos. Okay. Take a lime. We're going to juice one lime. Just a little bit of acid in the salsa, right? And then, because we can, we're gonna add just a little bit of sambal. La jiao jiang, guys, like that. So it's got the sweetness of the pineapple, especially the pink pineapple. Nice allium boost from the pink pineapple, Serrano, and sambal. And the shallot, you need allium group. Of course, just a little bit of salt and pepper. You can't really make anything without salt and pepper. A little bit of salt, that's pepper, and a little bit of salt. Voila. All right. So that is sauce one that goes with your pancake. All right. So that you can serve on a platter or something. The second, which I love, the second sauce I'm going to make is a dim sum dipper. This is the easiest sauce I think ever to make. Let me just clean off this pineapple real quickly. How's everyone else doing out there? How's it going? You can take yourself off of mute if you have any questions, guys. This is a good time to ask questions if you have any. Anyone?
I think they're all busy, Ming. Why did you choose these two sauces? Why did you like this contrast of these ones?
Well, I mean, dim sum dipper I've been making since I was a kid. It's just what we made in every Chinese restaurant. You always had soy sauce, you always had vinegar, right? And you always had la jiao, you know, some type of sambal. So that's the classic, which I'm gonna make for you right now. And the pineapple salsa is because you guys have the best pineapples in the world in Hawaii. So it just made sense to use what you guys have.
Sounds good.
Any questions, guys? Does anyone have any questions?
There's one question. The Souza family wants to know if you can use olive oil instead of canola.
Absolutely. Just know to sear. Just know that you can't put since the pan is only on medium high, you'll be fine. You never use olive oil when you go to high to wok stir because then the oil can burn. But in this case, at medium high, you should have no problem. Good question, though. Dim sum dipper, guys. Soy sauce. It could be tamari or soy sauce. Since we're eating scallion pancakes, it's futile to say use tamari since we're eating gluten. But soy sauce, rice vinegar, right? Love this tartness of rice vinegar. the saltiness of this soy sauce and tamari. And as I mentioned, here's my new favorite chili sauce. Longama. What, Henry? Huh?
We have a few other
Uh,
questions, Ming. Someone wanted to know if
yep.
there's any substitutes for rice vinegar.
Oh, any vinegar. Any vinegar would work. Balsamic vinegar would work. Rice would work. You could also use lemon juice or lime juice, right? Doesn't have to be vinegar. You just want some type of acid. And the reason you want that is you don't want all salty, right? Tamari or soy sauce is just straight salt. So you want something to balance that saltiness out. So if you have some more extra scallions, guys, you can throw them in this dim sum dipper. Okay. Now here. Angela, apparently you have a few holes. Don't worry about that. Just kind of bring it together, then roll it out again. It'll still cook together. You know, your lamination won't be perfect across your pancake, but don't sweat that. It'll still be delicious. All right, guys. So let me show you how to plate this up now. So I have my dim sum dipper in a sauce. I have my pineapple salsa in another sauce dish. I'm gonna take my pancake now. Oh yeah. Again, just a little bit of salt. Oh yeah. So I'll do this. Second time. I like to get 8 slices. They're not gonna be perfectly sized, but that's okay. Then take your pancake like this. Lay them out. And a second row. And a little extra scallions on top. There you have it, guys. Scallion pancake, 2 sauces, super easy. You have enough to make 4 pancakes, guys, right? This is 1/4 of the dough. So hopefully you will make more. So I want to see everyone's final plate up here. And yes, start eating. Obviously, if you haven't done, start eating. I see Leslie's just getting cooking, so take your time on that. Make sure it gets nice and golden brown, guys. Don't rush it. JC's looking really good. You got a big griddle, JC. Wow, who are those? Whose are those two? Fujiwara. Those look really good. Whose are those? Very nice. Leslie. Yes. Okoji. Very good. Totemo Ishii. Oh, that looks good. Lisa O'Hara. Sorry. Very nice. All right. Cody. Nice. So I'm going to try one because we can. I'm going to take one. I'm going to take some pineapple salsa. Give this a try. Yeah. How did yours come out? Pops. Pops, have you cooked any yet? Pop, take yourself off of mute. You're on mute.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can hear you now.
Yeah.
Have you cooked any?
Yeah, we cooked it, so.
How did your double lamination come out?
Good. Really.
He wants to see your finished product.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow, yours look really good, Pops.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's amazing. You've already made 4. I was proud that I made 1. You have 4. So you must have a sous chef or something.
Oh yeah, we have Winnie here.
Yeah, Winnie. Awesome. That looks really good, Pops.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how everyone else did here. Cody, how they taste? Thumbs up? Nice. That's all we want to see. Don't get them. My kids are stealing my scallion pancakes.
We have a question. If you can't use all the dough, are you able to freeze it and use it later?
Not really. No.
You do it fresh.
What I would do, good question, is I would roll out all your scallion pancakes, and then using wax paper and make sure the wax paper is oiled, you can do layers of it and freeze it. And then from frozen, get it in a pan, oil, and then sear them fresh. That's how I would do it. So use all your dough, make it wax paper, oil, and then you'll have scallion pancakes ready to go. Fill this with ice, please, David. So if I can, and Senator, this is your tea. So what I really enjoy this tea. The tea is not, it's very delicate, which I like in flavor. And I love how red it gets. So what I ended up doing is, you can see, is when I made the tea, I put fresh ginger slices. So I had fresh ginger slices in here with the tea and boiling hot water and let it sit overnight. And so it imparted a little bit of ginger flavor, which I liked. I didn't add any sugar. I actually thought the tea had its own inherent sweetness. So just a little bit of ginger infusion. I thought it really made it refreshing. And I do like just a little bit of fresh lemon juice. A couple of drops. That's it. I don't think you need anything more than that, because you don't want to have something that takes the flavor of the tea away. So a little bit of ginger, those 3 drops of lemon juice. I love it. I think this stuff. So I know you guys got tea bags that also comes loose, right? Tea bags are awesome for convenience. I love loose because then you can make a big old pot of it. And we have all these Japanese teapots. So enjoy this tea, guys. It's really it just tastes good and is very good for you, which, as you guys that know me, I've been saying that my entire career. You are what you eat. And if you eat smartly and drink smart teas and, make things from scratch, it's going to be better for you, better for the planet as well. How else is everyone doing there? Are people on round 2? Looks like it. Angie's, yours look really good there. And Natalie, how are they? Good. And Lalani, I see Lalani made some there. Okay.
Here, Ming, this is the Yamaguchis right here.
Oh wait, hang on. Let me get you back on speaker. Go ahead, say that again, Denise.
I said,
Let me see the Yamaguchis.
She's scallion pancake.
Did Roy just make okonomiyaki because it's easier for him?
Something like that.
Those look pretty good. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna try another one. I'm gonna try the dim sum dipper here, which I love. Again, the spicy chili crisp. You can see the oil. I love this oil and the crispiness of the soybeans. All right. Any other questions out there, guys?
Well, while
Everyone
we
good?
your questions, I was asking you just about cooking and as part of your culture and your upbringing and doing it generationally, like you said, and even with your son there helping and travel, and how that's just influenced all of your cooking and experiences.
Is that a question or a statement? What's the question? How much is my travel?
We just want to hear more about your background experiences. I mean, this is just one dish that you learned from your family, and then you can pass on to your family.
Cong You Bing is so significant because when I used to go to Taiwan, to Taipei, when I was literally 1 year old, 3 years old, 5, 7, I probably went there with my parents to go visit my dad's dad, so Yaya Nanai, and we lived there all summer. And so again, probably 5 or 6 times from ages 0 to like 15. And significant in my upbringing because one, the Chinese food in Taiwan is unparalleled. So good, especially the street food where they grab you off the street, they serve you Chong You Bing, scallion pancakes, the best guatier, the best dumplings, things called gobeli baozi, which in Chinese literally means this bao tastes so bad, not even a dog would eat it. Bao. So tough marketing, but they're freaking delicious, right? Pork, they kind of almost have as much juice as a soup dumpling, but they're pan-seared like a hockey puck, which and there's also one other thing I love called jianbing. And jianbing is a bing that is done kind of on a crepe type tiaban, right? A crepe type steel that you cook a batter and you add stuff to it and fold it up. That's also a bing. And then there's sheer bing, which is like a big hockey puck stuffed with, again, juicy pork. So all of those are so significant because all this dim sum and bings and things I ate as a kid has now culminated to the creation of, as you know, Ming's Bings, which is a awesome vegan patty that is gluten-free. I developed a gluten-free wrapper, but done in the idea of you being able to use your hands and eat them like a hot pocket, if you would, because everyone knows what a hot pocket is. I have all flavors downstairs if you want. And I hope that people will start thinking about a little bit more plant-based, a little less meat. And I just think that's just better. I mean, all of us Chinese, we eat so many more plants than we do meat, right? We add a little bit of meat for flavoring, but in general, it's plant-based focused. And there's just so much science for both the environment and your body, why that's going to be good moving forward. We have 7 billion, soon to be 8 billion, soon to be 9 billion people on this planet. We can't keep growing meat for that. We have to look at other sources, and plants is the other source. But of course, you can still make it delicious. So since I'm shameless in Chinese, here's my original bing. Looks like this, right? Awesome watercress and edamame, pepitas, red onions, garlic, ginger. Again, vegan and gluten-free. You just sear them 16 minutes or an air fryer. We have this sausage and peppers, also vegan, made with uncut plant-based Italian sausage. Awesome. Our new fave buffalo cauliflower, also vegan, made with vegan cheese, Violife. It's coconut fat. So all these are awesome, easy to do. And then one last thing I'll say, because you guys know I like to do stuff for charity and think about philanthropy, just like the Hawaiian Food and Wine Fest. The reason I've done it so many times since year one, it's giving kids a chance to learn to métier, learn to cook, learn to be able to do something. And that's how I am, right? I'm a chef. So I think it's so important to be able to give back. I'm very proud that Ming's Bings, some proceeds will benefit Dana-Farber, which is the best cancer research hospital in the world, save my wife's life, save my CEO's life. And another great charity called Family Reach. We financially help families that have cancer. So good for your body, good for the planet, and good for your soul. That's the idea. Any more questions? Pop, you're still cranking out bings, I see.
Oh, yeah, we're making a few and share with neighbors. Yeah.
So my dad's famous at Kahala Nui. He made his famous Hong Shao Jiuzi, his red roast pork, right? And he literally has fed everyone at Kahala Nui his red roast pork. But notice if you are doing production, guys, he's made 3 roulades. He's already rolled up 3 of them, and then he rolls them out. So more efficient than what I did. But again, he's a true engineer, and I'm a fake engineer. So that's okay.
We had a couple requests for you to show how to, how to roll the dough together again. And then someone was wondering what else you could make using hot water dough.
So the other things I've made with this exact recipe and this exact technique is you can flavor besides just scallions. So do that. You need the oil for the lamination. Scallions, of course, is a scallion pancake. But my grandfather, again, my dad's dad, used to put cooked burger meat. He would saute hamburger with onions and then chill it. You can't put it in hot, it'll break the dough. And cold cooked burger meat in with the raw scallions like we just did. He rolls them out. You end up getting a cheeseburger bing, which incidentally, I'm going to make one day a cheeseburger bing in my whole line, because I just think Again, a little bit of meat really adds flavor and makes it a little bit more substantial for you. You can't fry the dough like pizza dough. It doesn't puff up because we didn't add any yeast, right? There's no leavening to this. There's natural leavening in AP flour, of course, but there's not a lot of leavening. So when you fry it, it doesn't puff up like pizza dough. So primarily this hot water dough is scallion pancakes, and this is the exact same dough to make delicious dumplings, right? I wish my mom was under the weather because with that Teflon rolling pin that my dad's using there, she could roll out the best little dumpling wrappers. And then that you just put, again, any filling you want, vegetarian, pork, chicken, whatever. And then you can boil the dumplings, steam the dumplings, or pan-sear them for pot stickers. So thank you, Fulin. I'm looking at any more. Okay, guys, what else do you have? It is 10 p.m. here in Boston.
Yeah. Their dough is very good. 2-to-1. 2-to-1, it works very well.
Wow. Nice, Pops. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, and by the way, honestly, when I make these at altitude, it's a little more water, right? It's drying at altitude. So you do have to, it's approximately 2-to-1, right? And, but like any bread making or anything, you have to just do it by feel. But look how thin my dad's pancakes are, right? So that's awesome that you can get them that thin. And but Pops, you made that dough in advance, right? You let that rest?
Yeah, rest about a couple of hours.
Couple hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Same. That's good. Well, hopefully Mom will feel better. She loves your scallion pancakes, so that will be good.
Yeah, she will have some.
Yes, I'm sure she will. Good. Any other questions before I sign out here? Who else has questions?
Robin, do you have a question?
Just yell it out if you have a question, guys.
The recipe calls for rice wine vinegar.
Yeah, it's rice vinegar.
But it's just the same as rice vinegar? Because I couldn't find rice wine vinegar.
It's the same thing. Rice vinegar, rice wine vinegar. Yep.
Okay.
I call it rice wine vinegar. I don't know. I'm not sure why, but some labels do say rice wine. There's no wine in it. It's just rice vinegar.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's an easy question. But yeah, again, lime juice, lemon juice, any vinegar would work. I love the Chinese black vinegar, right? The Jingjiang vinegar. That's really good as well.
Hi, Chef. I had a question. I wanted to tell you something. It's not a question, though.
Okay.
I used to watch you with my grandpa all the time growing up, and I always knew I wanted to cook. And I just used to love how you would share the history of food and the different dishes that you would prepare. And I was so intrigued by it. And when I saw your cooking show, I just was so excited to do it. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet.
Thank you for the inspiration.
That's great. You know what? One of the nice compliments I ever hear is that people started cooking more because of the show. And I think that's awesome because the glue of most families, Asian families, Mexican, Italian, Jewish families, is the dinner table. I hear a little echo for some reason now. Is that me?
They muted this.
Someone muted my camera.
Here, I'm unmuting.
Okay. No, I hear myself in my ear now for some reason.
No, mute this one.
Yeah, here we go. You got to unmute that. Sorry, guys. I was hearing myself. I don't need two Ming Tsais at once.
Hi, Ming.
So anyway, but the glue always is the dining room table, right? We would always sit down at the table, and in our household we have so much food. Both Mom and Dad are great cooks, and we would always talk about the next meal. We couldn't even enjoy the current meal, right? Be like, hey, what are we going to have tomorrow? So that's kind of funny. And then when we had guests over, my dad would always, and Grandpa would always say, butcher by butcher, which is you might as well eat it because you already paid for it. So that was his mantra that he would always say to anyone to get them to eat more. And here's the Thai secret when we go to a Chinese restaurant. However many people you have, you order that many dishes. So if you bring 8 people to a Chinese restaurant, you order 8 different dishes and then 1 noodle dish at the end. No one leaves hungry, ever. So if you do that ratio, you're going to be fine. Always have noodles at the end, so no one leaves hungry. Okay, guys, can I help you with anything else? I have to. Does everyone's come out all right? Oh, Natalie's, yours looked really good too there. Awesome. Huh?
The chat.
The chat. All right, we have one more question in the chat. It says, where can I purchase those items? I'm not sure which items. Huh?
Ming's Bings.
Oh, Ming's Bings. Yes. So if you live in Hawaii, you can get them, but the shipping will cost you an arm and a leg and a head and a toe, because you live in Hawaii. So you can move to the mainland or not. I wouldn't do that. They will eventually make it to Hawaii. We're in Whole Foods New England. Wegmans starts. You have a Whole Foods in Hawaii. So once we're national, cross our fingers and become national Whole Foods, I think eventually we'll get to Hawaii, but certainly probably not this year. We're just ramping up production. We're starting a West Coast facility as well. So yeah, I give it at least a year before they're in Hawaii stores. But if you do live anywhere else besides Hawaii, we do ship nationally. We do ship to Hawaii. It just costs more. So what I'd recommend is everyone on this call should get a case and you ship it at one time. Then you can amortize the cost of the shipping since you have 60 people on the call. That's what I'd recommend. And you guys should buy like 17,000 Bings. That would be great. Just an idea. Or not. Okay. Tanya, what else?
I think that's it. Any like, takeaways for the dough? It seemed like people were most curious about trying to get the right consistency of the dough. We had a comment about if it was too thick, it was doughy inside. So how to make sure you have it just right.
Well, okay, if it's doughy inside, you didn't roll it thin enough, right? It's actually not, or the dough. You can't roll the pancake until it's super thin on your board. So if you can't get a nice super thin pancake on your board, then it's too wet or too dry. So your barometer is, can you roll it out like my dad was just demonstrating that I did? Can you roll out a piece super thin, like, an eighth of an inch or less, and nice and flat? Again, if it's too wet, you got to just keep kneading it with more flour. And if it's too dry, you can actually splash water and keep kneading it. So the key is using a KitchenAid, or when you first do it, you start to knead. It's much easier to add more flour to a dough than add water. So it's okay that the dough is a little bit wet, like I did in the beginning, and you keep adding bench flour till you have the right consistency. But your barometer is you have to be able to roll it out super thin, and then you make the lamination. Huh?
What about gluten? If you were working.
And the reason you need it, guys, the reason you use a KitchenAid dough hook and the reason you knead it so it's nice and smooth and homogeneous is you're building the gluten, right? You want the hot water gets the gluten going, and then you got to keep kneading it to get the fibers stronger and stronger. Right. And then, of course, if you over knead, you end up with a brick, and then you got to start over. So that's why hot water dough is so nice, because it's so nice and supple. And just by letting it rest for that half hour to an hour, or up to 2 hours, you can really roll it out thin. If everyone can make awesome scallion pancakes the first time, I'm out of business. So there's that too.
Hey, Ming, we have Robbie Dingman is raising her hand, the editor of Honolulu Magazine, who looks like she's
Hey, Robbie.
Now. Do you have a question, Robbie?
Robbie, take yourself off of mute.
I wanted to say thank you. That was awesome. It's been a lot of fun doing it, and I love that you use the chili crisp. That's like my new pandemic thing.
Oh,
so.
you have it too? Oh, Robin, right? Isn't it so good? I practically put it on my children. It's so good, right?
Thanks.
I eat them. Thanks, Robbie. I hope to see you all in Hawaii sometime soon. It's
Robin Yafusto.
Anyone?
Robin.
All right, guys, listen, so for closing thoughts, the most important thing is when you cook, don't cook for just yourself. That's not the point of cooking, right? Cook for your family, cook for your friends, and always do what my dad and mom always did. Always cook twice what you need, because then you can invite people to your table easily and not have to worry about doing more foods. That's why we have leftovers all the time. And that's why we make shifan, right? The rice porridge, the juk. So we can eat the leftovers the next day for breakfast. So cook extra and taste as you go. Taste your pineapple. Make sure it's nice and ripe. That's key as well. But for me, and for all of us that love to cook, when we cook from the heart, it's the best thing you can do. It's really, for me, I do not get a better feeling ever than making someone happy through food. And I hope you all get to experience that as much as I get to do. It's really it's why we're chefs. It's the reason we're chefs. So thank you, Henry and Dave, for helping out. Pops,
Yes, thank you.
Feed mom, all right? Make sure she
Okay.
gets some pancakes in her.
Yeah.
All right, it's great to see you all. You guys, mahalo, huh? Good luck to everyone. We'll see you in Hawaii hopefully soon. We'll see you all next year for the Food and Wine Fest. I guarantee you, right? Denise, I'm sure you're going to have one next year. Can't wait for that. And I look forward to seeing you all in person. We can do something hopefully as fun as this next time as well. And so it's Aya, Denise, everyone, Tanya, thanks for organizing all this. And Senator, thank you for the tea. Delicious. And hopefully we'll see you all very soon.
We hope so. Big hand, everyone. Thank you
All
so
right,
much,
guys.
Ming, and thank you to your dad, Stephen, for everyone for joining us. Of course, like you said, we hope to see you here for Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. So sign up for that. We'll have updates on what's coming up for HFWF 21. And of course, we'd like to thank Kamehameha School's presenting sponsor for Cook Along. And Ming, thank you so much for inviting us into your kitchen and showing us some of your secrets.
That is my pleasure. Thank you all, guys. Mahalo. Stay safe, please. Stay safe. And as always, peace and good eating. See you later, guys. Mahalo.
And this video will be available tomorrow, everyone. So if you have any questions, you can go back and watch and see exactly how he made the dough and everything else. We'll be sending that out to all of you tomorrow. But thank you so much for supporting Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. On behalf of the CEO of Hawaii Food and Wine Festival, Denise Yamaguchi, who you heard from in the beginning, as well as sponsor Kamehameha Schools, and Donovan Dela Cruz, who provided the tea. And for all of you for taking time to join in, thanks for being a part of this and for allowing Ming to share some of his generational cooking with all of you. Aloha, everyone. I'm Tanya Joaquin, and thanks so much for joining us.